Tequila sunset.
Heavy wooden doors. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. It's black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a grate in the heart of the city. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's speak.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch, the lieutenant, says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February, another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years.
Good morning, Fortress accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Goodbye, Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hum, it seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly, you can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of wind. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then,
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
his detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin, filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height. It's like you see your own face reflected back at you in the vanishing geometry. A strange, alien image. There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark.
Officer, what are you looking at?
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you. Maybe it's possible to... Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive. The crab man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unread.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view. Hey, and what was that about, the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
If the lieutenant agrees, then maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention.
Fuck you, Crabman! You don't tell us what to do! Tell him!
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw whatever it is? He's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance he hath deceived his very self.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hand. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. That's not really the point, I said. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'd be pure enough to go drink from. Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted. Oh, she is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reacting.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me. It's not like that at all, man. It's just...
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
No worries, man. I know this shit takes time. I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't...
They look pretty dapper, actually. The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother.
It looks like he truly doesn't remember. There's a vagueness to his sense of time.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
¿Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa.
The viejita is Grandma?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
You mean like a fugitive? No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything.
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
too many times, Essay. You need it for...
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What do you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita. I think we're done here, Essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
The machine's keyboard is still nothing happened. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine.
Good afternoon. Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to fortress accident. Is there anything else? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still... The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen artists yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, occupying public spaces with installations like the one here. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Go.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow.
Is she talking about?
February 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music. One neo-disco song. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my...
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. Your learning thing. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, your reading was interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted it.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no. Not anymore.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she...
Nope. Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. What? No. No one's suspicious of...
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I'm working.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point?
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not.
They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay?
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what the lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Strange things may flourish.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No,
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point it's...
And I don't have a...
You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in them either. Great. What are we talking about? And why? Great. Thanks. The Swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks.
I feel that's illegal.
Hey, what are you doing? Laying everything out like that.
Yes.
It is, yes. It's against the law. We're cops. The law is important to us.
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it?
I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Take a guess, why don't you? Bingo! That's exactly what...
Wonderful. Now this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tanks.
So that's settled. Great. No nightclubs in the church then.
Yes, what is it?
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small pine wood. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first generation.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Lesetsa, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find an instigator here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shut up. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here. Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I am pretty sure it was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything more about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one. I am pretty sure it was a clandestine. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez. Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment, more. An innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate inauthentic rule should it coincide. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when no, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world. Many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclay. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form.
Yes! Big bummer! Boring history! Gotta keep it light, man! Keep it moving! Get fucked up instead!
The past is a silo of sadness.
Fuck this pain!
No, you must know. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels, even before she was declared an innocence. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. As did we all. The lands of the Mest and the Occident, and even far away Supra Muindi, Altogether, 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentic rule. In a city called Advesperaskit in Vespa Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later, a young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her Theriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic. Mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? That she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing here, however. In this church, I mean. The coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both. Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned, or just hooligans looking for something to break. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is hot. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. Could these words be the password that unlocks the filament memory?
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We are already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Justice, union, prudence, and force. So do I.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body.
The woman looks by.
It's not spiritual. It's
the mother of human.
Hello again. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
A silver bird feels strangely familiar. Was it an expression? And if yes, then for what? Then your mind slips and...
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but... Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. She remains. It's real. Tell her.
What is? I know. I'll stick to it.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to. What is it? Oh, really? So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress. Okay, so you're not that upset, it sounds like. Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know.
Perhaps.
Okay. Why do you think that? Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic, don't you think? Okay. What else? There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this, Chica. Are you sure you don't remember any? Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory. Yeah, or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich. Yeah, I'm sorry. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, actually.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad. The large-headed...
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it!
Hello again. How can I help you? This is... I certainly wouldn't pass up the opportunity to acquire something that can make princes out of peon. Owning shares, that's where the proper trade is. Far beyond the pittance I deal with in here. No can do. I need to make money. This is a business first and foremost, not a charity. No offense, but I don't think it would do me much good. Nothing to do with you. It's just my customers tend to be... well, I'd be glad to trade for your shares. Let's stick to that. In theory, yes. You probably have enough to afford it all. However, I don't plan on selling up. What I can do is trade that modified streetlight over there for some of your shares. It's the most expensive item.
Expensive isn't everything. And we know that light isn't even a recognizable brand. You can't exactly strut down the street and turn heads with it like you can a new Perseus Black number either. Let's not completely write it off yet. Perhaps turn it into an art installation. Invite viewers to question what it means to bring an outside light inside. There's much to be learned in this kind of rewiring job. You could steal its secrets and make it's been through a whole transformation. There are so many insights to share. It just needs a medium. Wouldn't the Wakewalkers? It's up to you. If you think it's got ROI potential, then go ahead. Just bear in mind that these shares are developing into a fortune.
Right. Nothing else in here carries that much value, I'm afraid. Plus, I need to make sure I still earn some actual cash for food and such. Have another look at it. Really take in that quality craftsmanship. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. Hello again. How can I help you?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon. It's tough to come by on a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take Radeon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taking it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance. A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud, years getting sick. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths, cancer mostly. And we knew all that was no one's, everyone's.
So much bitter.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there, it's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Have you tried it?
It's almost like he's worried. The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, he won't be your knock, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
If you say so, here you go, man.
Not so sure about this. Because it's an anti-radiation drug, and you're a cop, not a post-apocalyptic scavenger.
I respect your decision, officer. Here you go, man.
Not so sure about this.
I respect your decision, officer. What else can I help you with? The Coldima Madakwa? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds for that matter. What an interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore and started looking for all kinds of interest. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all. Cool or not, one of them was we thought we did. We got unfortunate.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording, keep in mind.
As the hum grows louder, modulating, but always not good, not good. You're about to start. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you. He nods to you, reassuring. Seabirds most likely, gulls and
Gulls and skewers. But,
a low
you know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to... Sure, let me have a look. Another time pad.
all the old typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
More than happy. Like I said, I value the street.
As little as possible. We only sell shares if we're getting something of more value for them. Shares are premium goods. A 20th of your shares is as something lifted in him when he saw those shares. He needs as many as possible, even if he won't admit it.
That's not enough. But I want to sell them now. All right, that'll have to do. The street light is all yours. Yeah, good. But I won't be holding on to these shares for long. Let's just say there's some long overdue business I've got to deal with. Oh, sure. It is quite heavy. That's all right. I can keep it here for you until you find one. Tell you what.
Did he just do a runner? He can't get away. Don't panic. I'm sure he's just doing his shoelaces up. Something like that.
Here we go. It's a sign that declares you the owner of the streetlight. Stick.
Great idea. One of your physical assets on display for the public. Maybe this was a good idea after all. We could sell tickets for people to come, but let's come back to that idea later. There's easier money to be made elsewhere. Just get that sign stuck on there for now.
There you go. Beautiful job.
It reads, sold to the disco cop for shares in MK Merc. The pole has been carefully cut. The what she's going to love it. Silence. Your eyes slide back to the 700 Real modified streetlight you traded for shares. The golden light seems to flicker ever so slightly, like a butterfly.
Oh, right.
Your eyes slide back.
One quick question. How do I get hold of my shares? All right.
It's the 700 Real modified.
Hello. Let me know if I can help.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carry...
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes...
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational... Was it a good idea on the lieutenant's part to get into this? Don't even answer that. Just leave. You can always come back later. On your...
Hello again, Steve.
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. It's dark. And the flash...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Ah, yes. The Wirrow.
Ice.
I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as, well, dead. Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per cup.
Tequila Sunset.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
And? What happened? Oh, man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the...
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time? I guess it's not a massive...
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? What a pity. Those are my two favourite things in the world. Drugs and hypnotic music. I mean, and she doesn't like either one of them. Some people are just born retro. A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future?
Unity! Dance!
And you can't just evict her? Look at you, Honor Man. No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy.
The lines in the dark exist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for...
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Oh man! But the drug lab was like an integral part of getting a club. For me, it was my favourite part. Chemistry's great. Besides, imagine all the drugs we could do if we had our own drug lab. I mean, anodic music is great and all, but drugs, they make you feel really good. When did you last feel really, really good? Pull out that stick, Lawman. You'd absolutely love drugs. They'll make you feel transcendent. Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Good.
Hi again. So,
Goodbye, officer.
hi again.
And? What happened? Oh, man. Really?
No matter.
Yeah.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a I guess it's not a... Everyone is... Maybe. I guess we'll figure... A programmer? That's odd. What was she like?
What a drug.
A shame.
Unity!
And you can't just evict her? Look at you. No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way up. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church.
The line...
At least Crabman seems...
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
Egghead cannot be...
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right?
Oh, man. For me, I mean, anodic music is great, but that's exactly what drugs are for. Exactly. Time to...
Excellent. Good luck. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Good. Yes, what is it?
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more...
Alright. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and...
Hold on. If it's called an offsite copy, then why is it still on?
Oh god, not this again. It is not on-site. It is in the basement. Perfect?
Basement? Sounds like it's...
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to... We clear?
This is clearly a painful topic for her. She must have had to explain herself numerous times.
Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. That's her name, I believe. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just going in the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jarisa. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswolf Jarisa. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice...
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just...
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
Wait, what? Whose dead body?
You know, we don't actually have to tell the entire world about the fridge.
Whose body is it? And what is it doing in the fridge?
It's almost as if she feels some sort of ownership of the fridge.
You put it there? You put a dead body inside the Ice Bear fridge. Okay. Very cool. Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
We would appreciate it if you kept this knowledge to...
Who would I tell? My mother? I don't have anyone to tell. And if I did, I wouldn't. I don't care. The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my lame Civic. I'm not making this up.
The lieutenant coughs like he...
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic. Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offsite copy, then you can keep the Qualsund.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be part...
Yes? Thanks.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank ice cream. Turning the crank feels oddly. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank ice cream churner. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. This orange machine is dead still. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner. Ice squeaks beneath your Kvalzund multi-tool. And it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk. This orange machine is dead still. The ice squeaks beneath your... and it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again. Oh, dear. I'm not sure. I hope I've been useful.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Again? I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just...
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
I think even in this fictional reality, the 57th would still be my station.
My condolences. Go ahead. Have another guess.
He seems to be observing you through the reflective glass of his eyewear. There's no reply. Perhaps.
Okay. That's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? Would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Never mind. Partner. Okay. How about you stop wasting my time and get on with whatever you were doing then? Oh no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys in. And get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling. Dished out. Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness. Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably...
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? God fucking shit.
None of this is great. Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your...
The purity of snow always reminds me.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day? Sure, officer. Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Oh yes, not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the pay.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union. He doesn't know anything. Because no...
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be.
Well, he tells his little penman exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's just the way things work around here. No reason to feel bad about it. I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in. Just easier that way. Besides, life isn't as black and white as René's.
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the... You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling. Still again. Someone.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, no. What you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that? Very funny, asshole. Why don't you grow up? Oh, and disco.
Phone, hang, disconnect, tone. Calling. Still.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. My debt? I don't fucking owe you. It's... Who is...
He does not seem to be overly thankful. Disconnect, tone. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and...
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit. You're still a dink. Now what's your case with Kuno? Here, pig. We've fallen now. Performance buddies. Kuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now.
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
Kuno doesn't...
Everything's still cool here, officer. I only accept legal tender, officer.
It is not code. He really means his individual.
In that case, I cannot accept that as payment, officer. I run everything above board here. Tapes? You mean like music tapes? No, music is out. Don't listen to music. I sell extremely cool sunglasses. If you want to get your tapes, tapes are everywhere. They're worthless. Kids throw them in the trees. No one would ever throw a good pair of high-quality plastic sunglasses in the bushes, mister.
You should have a look. It's better than nothing.
You keep
coming back! That's good, officer! Keep browsing those clothes.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% gap.
Abort.
Damn, officer! You look like a...
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a... This orange machine is dead still. It has... This orange machine is dead still. It has a ice squeaks beneath and it's already unplugged. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun and it's already unplugged. There's not much. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool. And it's already unplugged. Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of... Oh no, you don't. Not this one. Light reflects off the green glass of the Commodore Red. The gods have been generous. But wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. I don't know about this. Fine. We're not worried. You'll crawl back to this... Yes, it's merciful that way. It's your friend, not all of us.
You've passed up your chance to start drinking alcohol for now, but don't worry. The option to start drinking becomes available again in 2 hours.
Well, light reflects off the... Wow, I don't know about this. There's a satisfying pop as the cork jumps out. And the hair... You see a flash of teeth. A young woman smiling at you near some railway overpass in your ruined past. She is gorgeous. And she is yours. Nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be worried about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox. A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's an alcohol button. Alcohol gives +1 to physique skills. Physical instrument, half-light, electrochemistry, endurance, pain threshold.
From the void we came, and to the void we... This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice... This orange machine is dead still. It has ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and Kilda as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
That's teen speak for no. No, she couldn't be more unbothered.
Excuse us. My partner here of course knows that net worth is not legal tender.
Yeah, I don't know.
You see several the packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and... The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign... A colourful...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
barbell waits patiently on the floor. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You managed to hoist it up. See? See? This place is...
Weightlifting was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
Wait, no. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
No, it's not dangerous, just depressing. I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data. It's the abyss staring back at you. Sona doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the...
Here! I found it! Hold on. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly. I found the coordinates.
She's beaming. You can... Great job.
Thank you. There, in the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals, solving the puzzle of water bowls.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I'll just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third pole 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth pole 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions. Nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it.
Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great, thanks.
It's awfully silent. Measurements have been marked. It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. This task is an insult to your mental skills. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah, nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant and then nothing. Nothing happens. As Sona Lokinen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the head.
Damn it! No, of course not! Nothing happened. Let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything.
Silence is silence? This can't be it. You should have a listen.
what is it?
All you hear is your own breathing, heavy and hoarse from all the nights spent. But there has to be something big, something unexpected, something ghosts. Speak to.
Well, did you hear anything? Yeah.
The lieutenant looks down at them. Maybe the speed freaks can help you with this. Go talk with Andre.
Hi again. So, oh yeah.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to...
Come to think of it, I've never... Yes? Yes? What's the deal? What kind of a hitch? An audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We got speakers with massive low end. There's a good chance it can do it. We've got some serious range on this baby. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
Still nothing. Sona isn't even looking at...
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks, I brought them here. These are... Great. What?
She has not seen her.
Hi again. So, how things... Yes? What's the deal? What kind of a hit? An audio shortfall. We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blast her shoes off. Goodbye, officer. So you had a talk with Andre, and that's fine, man. But I've got to warn ya, our signs are still off. It'll take some time for me to get my sire. Weird stuff. Wires going into water. Gives...
The People's Republic of Samara is...
Most of it does psionic powers.
Yes, what is it?
Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to... See? That's your problem. A lack of confidence. Speed, it's not ideal, no. But you need the zeal. Let's face it, you're never going to fit... You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale. furiously. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. And, let's be honest, there's a little chest pain. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start. Whoa, this shit is strong. Time for a little truth. Tell the lieutenant you did some. Clear the...
I'm not your mother. I don't care. Do what you have to do.
As long as you remain functional, he thinks. Now, let's get back to work. Spring. Everything is clear around you. You're ready to concentrate on the next task
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a speed button. Speed.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
Now that you've acquired some stimulant, see? It's not ideal. You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks, and let's be honest. Whoa, time for a little truth. Tell the lieutenant...
I'm not your mother. I don't care. Do what you have to do.
As long as you remain functional, he thinks. Spring.
In the bottom right...
Yes, what is it?
Still nothing. Sauna isn't even looking at you this time.
Yes, what is it?
Still nothing. Now that you've acquired, you raise the bottle. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow, and, whoa, this shit is strong. Time for a little truth.
I'm not your mother. I don't care.
As long as you remain functional, he thinks. To this, there are massive downsides. It's a potent neuro... Spring.
In the bottom right...
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get...
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace. You mean the speed freaks? Of course, the speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me? I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, Detective. As always.
Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
Hi again. So, how are things going? Yes? What's the deal? We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of the Nordic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. And what about the side business? Have you made up your mind? Oh man, really? You're a complete ballbust. Fine, we can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving. Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000! Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too. Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, Detective? The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, Detective. It would be good for the signs. Noid's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
How about something simple?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real.
Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, eh? Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys.
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the crab...
We're not going with anything the crab...
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's...
The past is the future, but the future is dead. No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave, like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience. It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
I'm dancing!
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
Yes, my man!
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes. All because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20, not 20. Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway. Goodbye, officer. Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you. Goodbye, officer.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't...
A colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled.
Okay, here.
She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact mic attached to a wooden pulpit.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to thank you instead. For getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are. Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got the stage. Sorna, the programmer, she's doing whatever she does behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much, and the crabman hasn't shown himself, thank God.
You got us in, cop. I can't believe you got us in.
With wonder in his shop.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame, but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating. A cell using the one with the large head is blasting the dance track on Sire, the tent. 'Twas a security risk, and in here, sanctuary. 'Twas only noble of you.
Okay.
What he means is, you're right, actually. The tent was a safety hazard, and this place was deserted anyway.
It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more. Sure. Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get up. It's short for paranoid. Good call. Not exposing yourself to stuff like that.
Denarian Church! The place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the The other real deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither.
Yes, what is it?